At first I was going to do this video at my house with a light and have my hair down, but I thought I need this to be as authentic as possible. So it's November 4th, 2025, and one of the YouTube girlies, Jadina, encouraged us all to do a video note to ourselves 1 year from today. So I'm going to be watching this again on November 4th, 2026. And so what do I want to say about 1 year from now? There's a quote that's attributed to Vladimir Lenin that says that there are decades when nothing happens, and then there are weeks when decades happen. And I believe that 2026 is going to be a year when decades happen. I have been wandering in the wilderness for the last 10 years, from about 2015 to 2025, and now it's time to move forward into destiny. The last 5 years, 2020 to 2025, have just been an absolute pit. It has been the pits. From losing my mother, from just feeling like I'm going nowhere in life, from understanding the regret and unwise choices I made in career choice, to being all in at a church and even working there for a while. It's been just a lot over the last 5 years. And so I think in order for me to move forward into the next era of my life and to move forward into my destiny, it's going to require everything I've known, to leave it behind. And that includes my career of the last 20 years, training. It's time for me to go. I mean, I've gotten to the point now where I'm trying to figure out what's the least amount I can work in order to pay my bills and hit my goals, so that I can no longer do this, because I want to move forward. And also leaving behind the religious, repressive identity that I've held on to for so long. It was a means of me being able to stay in control. It was is a way of guarding myself. You know, the scripture says to guard your heart, because that's where things flow from. But I was using it as a protective armor to guard myself, so that I wasn't able to receive that, so that I would be in control, which is totally contradictory, because God is supposed to be in control, not me. But so many times we use a repressive religious identity to be in control of our own lives. And so I know that 2025 was a turning point. I know it. I knew it. I knew it in my bones. I didn't want another year of the same old. I even said that I couldn't bear the thought that 1 year from now I would be doing the exact same thing, going to the exact same places, talking to the exact same people. I couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't do it anymore. I don't want another year of missed opportunities, missed connections, and lack of progression forward, because being in the career that I was in, and doing what I was doing, I was socially isolated. You know what I'm saying? And so that social isolation also means that I'm going to miss opportunities. I'm going to miss meeting new people. I'm going to miss what could be a complete change in life. People meet folks, and within a drop of a hat, their life changes. I've heard stories of people who met somebody in the parking lot, and next thing you know, that they're working at another job, or it's life changes in a moment. And when you're in the same place doing the same thing, talking to the same people, going over and over again, your eyes just stop looking for anything new. And so it was time for me to move on. And so I will say, in this coming year, or now that I'm looking back, or so since I'm watching this, that in this coming year, unbelievable things have happened. I've gone from bored, blah, going on autopilot, all black going to a place where it's all black every day, resembles a mortuary, and being disconnected, to booked, busy, thinking, fabulous, around fabulosity all the time, and connected. And when I say fabulosity, I mean being around people who are inspiring. I mean being around people, not just at work, but being around people who are on mission. And so how did this happen is that I jumped on opportunities that opened the door to more opportunities. It's inertia. An object is in motion, it's going to stay in motion. So because I jumped on an opportunity that seemed sort of innocent, I was able to open the door. That opened the door to more opportunities. I have had the most crazy connections this year, and it's changed my life. And I learned an important lesson a couple of weeks ago when I went to that George Michael show. I was in the wrong line for like 30 minutes. I was in the wrong line for 30 minutes. I asked people, I said, is this the right line? Is this the car? Are we here to see George Michael? Is this the show? Blah, blah, blah. And I just realized, I just had a feeling that this wasn't right. And so, because the Lyft driver, he dropped me off at the wrong place. And so, when I realized I was in the wrong line, I got out of line and went right to the current. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna miss the show and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I got there at 7:37. The show started at 7:40. I didn't miss a thing. I wasn't late. I saw every minute of that show. And that's exactly where I am right here now in 2026. I wasn't late. I didn't miss one moment of my life. I course corrected and got in the right place. I was in the wrong line. Or maybe I wasn't in the wrong line. I had to be in that line for a while, but I knew when it was time to go. When it was time to go, I course corrected and got into the right line, and now I am right on time and in my seat and here watching the show. Well, actually living the show. And so also this year, August 8th, August 8th, 2025, I had the craziest dream. It was bizarre. And it was something I hadn't thought about this thing in over 20 years. And according to these woo-woo people, that is called the Lionsgate portal. Whatever. But I know why I had that dream now. I know exactly why. It was a message that it is possible, and never to choose the short stick. Never choose the short stick, because I wasn't a short stick. And I needed to choose the big stick. And so I did it. I chose the big stick. Actually, I chose the huge stick. Unbelievable. Do not know how my life changed so quickly. Actually, I do know how it changed so quickly. This moment contained all moments. So everything I went through prepared me to choose that huge stick. So what would I tell myself on November 4th, 2025, that would get me to this place where I am in 2026? Number one, trust God. God has it all worked out. He sees our lives from the end to the beginning. He already knows how this thing is going to turn out. I don't. I've been just complaining and murmuring, and I don't understand this, but I'm starting to understand why things had to unfold the way they did. That's the way it had to go. Number two is take the risk. I had to do some risky things this year. I started feeling it in my bones like right now. I feel like you're going to have to take a risk. You're going to have to step out. And the next thing was to do it afraid. Yeah, I had to take the risk, and I'm doing it afraid. That was part of the problem. I wasn't doing anything scary. I was just kind of marching around the desert doing the same old thing over and over again and going nowhere. And so I had to take that risk, and I had to do it afraid. The next thing was to step all the way in. I mean, I'm always kind of like, I don't know about this, but it was like, no, you got to step all the way in on this one. You got to step all the way on this one. And next for me, I like to be in control, which is why I shed the religious repressive identity. I had to let go, and I finally was able to let go. I was able to let go, and I was able to receive, which was a new thing for me. It was a new thing to be able to receive and not just feel like I have to give all the time. But it was nice for me to just be able to receive. And the last thing is that I'm enjoying all of it because this is real. I'm always kind of the person who thinks like, well, I wonder how this is going to end. Because, it's like I was so used to disappointment. But I'm like, oh, well, it only has to end if I choose to stop being intentional and stop doing what we're doing to make this thing work. Life has become unbelievable. All those things that I didn't think would ever happen have happened. And I chose that big stick. Well, it's the huge stick. And I am thankful every single day. So, my message to my 2026 self was good job, girl, for stepping out, taking that risk, doing it afraid, for stepping all the way in, for letting go, for receiving, and for enjoying. It's time for you to have some joy and enjoy. So, thank you very much. I will see you in 2026.